Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the participants. First of all, so we'll start. Yeah. Okay. Hi, I am Ashay. I did the business team at Movie. Once again, good morning, afternoon, evening to all. Firstly, big thank you to all the attendees. Just a while back, I learned that we have received participations from more than almost close to 40 odd countries. I believe there is more because post the webinar we'll get to know the actual as in the list of countries that the attendees have come from. But a really big thank you. I believe that's the maximum amount of diversification we have received so far. Um, we'll move into the overall streaming predictions. Just to sort of inform in prior. So you we are already a bit late, so we are starting on this in Feb. Most of you must have read about different predictions from different platforms across different channels. So if you cumulate, there will be more than almost 50 odd predictions, or even more than that. So we at Movie, we have tried to accumulate the most as in the predictions that we believe are can be in this year, or mostly within the half of next year. But anyway, we'll try to cover the maximum perspectives. We'll also be taking questions at the last. And let's begin. So about a movie, I know we have a lot of again, genuine gratitude. We have a lot of repeat candidates, sorry, attendees in the webinar. So this might be a repetitive information, but for those who are attending for the first time, a quick about movie. Since 2011, we are headquartered in Virginia. Um, we began with a software to help someone create a platform similar to Netflix, but right now we are a complete streaming ecosystem SaaS company catering to almost all use cases you can imagine in the when it comes to overall OTT or streaming. We are, of course, we are recognized as one of the top 100 companies in the streaming media universe, and these are our uh, a testament to the previous statement. These are the overall products and services that we have, which began only with one, that is our flagship product. We have grown to having our live streaming engine, a media asset management solution, a playout software, player SDKs. We have an offline system. We have our own proprietary recommendation engine as well. We are again, we have grown over the past decade into a software portfolio that can more or less cater to any industry use case that is there when it comes to video as well as audio. Again, thanks to the feedback and the appreciation by our partners, by our customers. So we have received these recognitions over the years. So just like the latest being a vendor leader from G2. Um, Moving to the main topic, that is streaming and OTT predictions of 2025. So overall, there are again, so it ranges from a huge spectrum, right from interactive content till AI driven security. So to begin with, I know maybe most of you might be aware of this, but Netflix did an experiment in 2018, yeah. So which is was Black Mirror Bandersnatch. So let's just dig into it. Maybe it might be a surprise for the ones who are not aware of this. So this is the first uh, streaming television content that is purely interactive. So the choices made by the end users, exactly like this. These define the subsequent storyline. So if you choose Sugar Puffs, the storyline goes into a different angle. Whereas had you chosen Frosties, sorry, it was, yeah, Frosties, so it would have went into a different direction. And this is an complete experiment that won them an Emmy Award in 2019. This particularly is a very what can I say, a very cumbersome as well as a high efforts production that goes into place, and for a long form content which was almost close to 2 hours, it's massive efforts. um, Replicating this in due course was not possible for majority of the streaming platforms, but for short form content, that is sh- maybe short films up to a period of, let's say, 15 odd minutes, 20 odd minutes, this is something that can be a real game changer. This can be a real USP aspect for streaming companies or anyone who wants to innovate inside an existing streaming platform, or for that matter create a separate streaming service altogether. So imagine having your own short film service which is essentially just interactive short form content. And again, these are means what was, as in what developed from 2018 till 25. There is, of course, there is a rise in AI. That's number one. Gen Z preferences, which are more, it's more of a lean forward experience rather than a lead back experience, as well as there is interactive branded content. Perfect. Moving next. So, since we were speaking of short form content, this is one of our strongest predictions because we have interacted with close to almost more than, I believe, 60 odd customers in the last 1 year, or maybe last eight odd months, wherein dual format is the new norm. So formats hitherto, of course, majorly you name the stalwarts of OTT and everyone had just 16 is to 9. Netflix did a lot of them. They did experiment with user generated content, wherein like having a platform similar, sorry, a module similar to Reels or a TikTok, but having dedicated admin generated short form content, this is something which has picked up just in the last year and majorly because of the rise of Korean content. It's so platforms like I'm assuming most of you might be aware, but platforms like Reelshot, they are literally challenging the throne. So now there was Quibi which did this experiment. It did not work as expected, but however, Reelshot as well as Dramabox, these are the platforms which are making a big dent in the overall OTT market, and other platforms are also trying to implement this. In fact, uh, as a matter of fact, there is TikTok and even there is Snapchat who are going in the reverse direction, wherein they already are short form. They are also introducing long form 16 is to 9 ratio. But yes, essentially providing the choice to users that you can either have a highly engaging short form experience or it can be a simple lean back long form content. You should have the choice yourself. The platform will give the provision overall. Moving to next. So yes, monetization, definitely. This is the topic wherein we have heard multiple. So we have interacted, we have received a lot of, as in most of these use cases, trust me, are the use cases that we discuss with our customers, that we discuss with our prospects, with our channel partners. So going beyond the three words. So naturally, there is A word, S word, T word, which is in some form of or the other, it's utilized by most of the platforms. It can be either individual, as in it can be just an AWOD platform, just a subscription based VOD, just a pay-per-view based VOD, or it can be a hybrid monetization, the way there is YouTube. YouTube, in fact, is the first OTT service that started with a hybrid monetization offering all these three. So there is, of course, so to be ad free, they introduce subscriptions, and they also have separate pay per view content, which is again, so that pay per view content, by the way, is encrypted. So if you notice, so even if you are a YouTube subscriber, you can still screen record the content. You can get an access to it through third party, but the ones that are through pay-per-view, means they are behind a paywall. Those are actually DRM enabled. They are highly encrypted contents. So YouTube started this. Likewise, others are also riding that wave. But from a prediction angle, these are some of the uh, really creative as well as really innovative ideas that I'd like to discuss. Before that, we just have a quick poll. So again, we also want to make this webinar a bit engaging. So we have a poll in front of you. That's the first poll for the day. Um, we'll keep this poll maybe for 30, 40 odd seconds. Again, so for those, I'll be even explaining these in detail. We'll be discussing this in detail. But yeah, interesting. So I see most of you have opted for hybrid setups. Great. We'll just wait for 5 more seconds. Four, three, two, one, and we can end the poll. Perfect. All right. So now let's actually dig into these. So micro transactions. Again, this is something which is not very new. It does happen in certain aspects, but now with the growing exclusivity of content. So as a matter of fact, like Netflix had its first live stream boxing event. They as well could have, because again, having for an audience like Netflix within the existing subscription, uh, having a live stream event is a big effort. It's actually quite generous. On the flip side, they as well could have made it a pay-per-view event, meaning you are already, I mean, even though you are a subscriber, maybe for you it's a bit less for an existing subscriber, but for the ones who are not, it can actually be a proper pay-per-view event. Other things are like the as a matter of fact, the overall GEC industry, that is just entertainment content. So a lot of users are really means they do care a lot that goes behind the scenes. So tomorrow, imagine if you get to learn the actual behind the scenes of, maybe let's say, Game of Thrones. Some of them may be available on public platforms like YouTube, but of course, behind the scenes, it's a very comprehensive setup overall. So having the access of behind the scenes for each of the premium contents that are available can have an additional transaction from your side. Again, it may be for a limited percentage of the users, because obviously the entire user base won't opt for it. But still, even if a percentage as 20% opts for it, that's a massive jump in the monthly revenue, because you will be paying monthly, as in if that's a additional provision you are getting in a platform like Netflix, Hulu, Prime, you name it, that's an additional monthly add-on you are paying for it. So again, likewise to some can be to, from an I mentioned here, to unlock alternate endings. Again, trust me, there is a big market for as in, nevertheless, there are conspiracy theories going on between multiple you can it may be either a web series, it can be a crime thriller, it can be a horror movie. So for having an alternate ending, the audience would definitely pay a premium, or maybe that additional transaction to unlock that aspect. Next, the e-commerce incentive. Most of us, we realize it or not, but Amazon Prime Video is actually utilizing it. So it's not in its true sense, though. Meaning, there we do pay a separate subscription for this as an Amazon Prime video, but again, it provides you essentially the entire e-commerce benefits into the same bundle. So likewise, there can be a lot of other companies whose main business is e-commerce. It can be either from the merchandise, it can be either from a company's actual core products, and the video subscription is an incentive to it. This is, of course, this is something which is easier said than done. It's not for a big gamut. It's for a niche set of customers. But again, e-commerce as a market is as equal as OTT as a market. So having this, and again, it's, if you check the cost benefit analysis, it's more or less inclining towards the Prime Video model. Crowdfunding, of course. So crowdfunding, again, it's not new. OnlyFans is the biggest exhibit A, that I can place. TikTok also has crowdfunding. It's more catered towards a creator based, it's more from a creator economy than an actual full-fledged OTT platform. However, this is something that can be adopted by big players, by even anyone who is in the it can be from a religion angle, it can be from an education angle, it can be from a lifestyle angle. So there are multiple initiatives that can be added into a streaming service, which for which the audience or the users would fund. Some of it might be even for, like, from a prediction angle. So let's say if I donate to predict a particular event. Maybe it can be like a sports match. So it can be an entire gaming series. So like an actual football tournament. If I am able to predict maybe 5 out of 10 matches correctly, I get 3 months subscription free. But of course, I have to donate first. So such innovations into crowdfunding can also be implemented across platforms. It's not that hard. It's something that and again, there is no downside to it much. So as well, utilize this diversification into the overall donation as well as crowdfunding space. Last but not the least, product placements. We already saw in the Bandersnatch video that it is happening. So depending upon your overall, so it's purely it will be, means that wasn't completely AI driven, but now going forward it would be AI driven. There will be digital ad overlays hyper personalized to a user's behavior in the video or audio consumption. So again, this is something that advertisers in collaboration with platforms should, as in, capitalize on. It's for the benefit. It means I would rather have the most suitable ad in front of me rather than something which as in probably want to skip. Great. We have one more poll on this. So can we have the second poll? Great. All right. Yeah. Sorry. So this is, I'll just move to the next slide. Um, okay. Sorry. Yeah. So from a community angle, uh, which of this feature would you choose to as a must have for your streaming service? So we just wait for 2 more seconds. Great. Yeah. And we can end the poll. Thank you. All right. So I purposely went into community first. We'll go with OTT bundling and fast channels eventually. So community that builds together. Of course, without community, overall, this concept of community itself, it came from social media, wherein the primary purpose of it itself is the same. That is, there has to be an user engagement. You should know, I should know what my friend or my colleague, how their lives going, their achievements, their overall daily activities, etc. Uh, However, that same aspect has been translated into streaming services. Naturally, meaning TikTok was the first to sort of pioneer into a community OTT app, which eventually has so even of course for Instagram it's backward integration. They went into video. Eventually, they were priorly they were prior a social media platform, but still, so having this interaction or this engagement of users within a platform, this is something that has grown. In fact, for us also, we have received more than almost 25 inquiries during a peak period last year, wherein the request for a community feature, and again, community also, as most of you guys, you have opted for these options. So as most of you guys told, for some it's more towards having a module like TikTok. For some it is an actual community feature like adding a post. For some it can be just having the provision of watch party. So the way you can invite your friends to a watch party in Prime Video. Likewise, having that collaborative session over a movie or a series. For some, it can be essentially just a random chat, but this is one of the strongest predictions of 2025. It's already grown, means it's not new. This is something which has been building since years, and it will just be growing into it will be like a norm, more or less like a norm. It will be an inbuilt feature within multiple streaming platforms. All right. Right. Now I'll go to the previous slide. Sorry, I think yeah. All right. Okay. So, fast to fastest and OTT bundling. Again, these are not new, but these are again strong predictions because subscription fatigue, it's real. Means it is a known issue. It is something that most of us, in fact, all of us, maybe struggle with managing too many subscriptions. So, there are again it goes into two branches, like the problem solving of it goes into two branches. Either we go for an bundled subscription that sort of consolidates multiple platforms into one, or I simply go to the age old viewing of apps, as in I don't want to pay more subscriptions. I simply again assuming the ads would be more tailored, they would be more personalized towards my interests. So as in the comparison of what was there maybe 10 years back. So having that provision, and again having a complete what can I say, and ease into viewing, which is the advent of fast. So that entire process is on the rise, and it's not limited just to entertainment. Again, I had done a webinar a couple of months back specifically on fast. I maybe some of you might have attended that as well. But again, it's entertainment naturally has the biggest quotient when it comes to a channel like Fast, but it's also gaining huge attraction in gaming, in fitness, travel, sports. Even as a matter of fact, there are as in there are use cases wherein they are running a 24/7 educational channel. There can be and it is means it's already there on TV. It as well can be on even a proper as an on as an IPTV on internet on our streaming applications. Uh, Perfect. Let's go ahead. You're right. So yes, this is something which again there are we security, it's a real concern. Um, Companies do have multiple compliances. They do have strong obligations to, and it's pretty natural. So someone will dig into each of these points one by one. So first is of course AI driven DRM. So DRM primarily it encrypts your content naturally. It will not let anyone illegally download or access your video or audio data. However, in case of leaks, meaning let's say there can be a screen recording done from a third party camera altogether. So the content is going in my laptop. I am recording that from my mobile phone. That's one scenario which we can't deny. Um, in these cases, of course, there is an embedded invisible watermark, of course, not visible to the naked eye. But whenever this content is leaked on any platform, so I am recording it and maybe leaking it on YouTube or any private site for that matter, the entire AI driven mechanism, that process flow will track that and it will be removed. So from a legal standpoint, also there will be a workflow, but primarily it will be removed from that site altogether. So such advanced AI functions are, as in, they are available. There are multiple players working on it. We ourselves are working on it. We are, so there is a function called as forensic watermarking. We'll discuss that's separately, but yes, so these functions are they are making both from the prevention as well as cure. So prevention is of course to prevent from recording in the first place. Of course, that's more from a mobile device perspective. However, even there is a cure if through some means it's being stolen. It's a strong prediction that most of the enterprises, again, one such example of this is OnlyFans, because exclusivity means a lot to them. So because you have content by a celebrity or any influencer which is not available anywhere else. Even there are leaked movies of Netflix available on some platforms, but having content of OnlyFans available in other places, it's very rare. I'm not denying it's not there is no 100% compliance to it, but still it's definitely beyond 90. Uh, Next is again passwordless authentication is something that is seeing the light of the day. It's a lot of requests are going into this. It's again it's one of our predictions for 25, and as in it may come into proper action maybe by next year, but so again, hacking of passwords is something that's a common scenario, and it's from the user data perspective. It's not naturally not from the content security. But simply means not having to enter any password. I- uh, uh, it has to be an option. Of course, no platform will make it a mandate. There will be an option to add passwords. However, there should be an option to simply skip passwords as well. So I am adding it. It's simply my thumbprint or maybe facial recognition, which is allowing me to. It's getting my identity and it's allowing me to access the application. It's as simple as that. Uh, Differential privacy. This is one more. I don't know if many of you are aware of this. I myself I learned this recently. So differential privacy is essentially it's more catering to healthcare. So if any of you who are attending this webinar are from healthcare or maybe from government or maybe from fintech, where data security is or privacy is extremely important. I'm not saying that it's not important in other cases, but again, so what differential privacy does is that it basically it adds noise to data sets to protect individual identities, but it still allows analysis into it. So because me as a patient, so for a doctor teleconsult app, if I am sharing very sensitive, or maybe for an app for any kind of therapy, if I am sharing very, very sensitive information which naturally has to be analyzed into the application for sending me, it will not factor my Ashay's identity into it. But it will ensure that still an analysis is done, and accordingly, my experience on the platform keeps on improving. Last but not the least, homomorphic encryption, again, it's not new, but with the community engagement, which we just talked a couple of while back. So the overall community engagement will uh, force platforms to have this entire security protocol into the platform, built in into the platform's overall system architecture, to ensure the data is protected. It's highly encrypted while it's in use. So the way we are interacting right now, so it's a live video, it's a live webinar session. It can be a two-way interaction, it can be an actual chat. So ensuring that even during this process the entire data is highly encrypted, because again the hacks are something which mostly happen in this window. So ensuring that everything is taken care of completely, this is one of the, again, it's one of the predictions that will that can shape security module in the overall system. Last but not the least, AI definitely means we know there is no skipping of AI. There is no escaping of AI overall. Mostly it's from an angle of, means it's for the betterment. Naturally, there are won't deny that there are some industries being affected, but again, it's how we leverage it to the best rather than take it as a competition. Uh, Naturally, so from content localization. So this is it's a not a very common knowledge, but yes, there are tools available even today wherein, so again, literally this example, imagine watching Shawshank Redemption in Korean but in Morgan Freeman's voice. So literally means that that's something I'll pay for. So again, this is essentially um uh, because when it comes to entertainment specifically, it adds a lot to the appeal of the film, that I am hearing it in the actual actor's voice. It's not done so far, of course. It's very the development efforts are very heavy behind it, but that is something which will be shaping very soon. And it's not even next year. It's our strongest prediction that the solutions will be implemented in platforms by the third quarter of this year itself, and that will be in fact a game changer. A lot of platforms might even add it as one of the premium. So again, like in link with micro transactions into an existing subscription. So this is a possible scenario that can happen. Um, Automated censorship. Again, I remember discussing this same use case for a high courts project. Live streaming of actual court proceedings, wherein they wanted that if there is any derogatory comment made during an actual live court session, can that be censored? Uh, this is 4 years back, and we did not have a thorough answer. So again, it was a concept, but there was not a definite statement that yes, this is something that can be done, because we didn't know. Means that time AI also was not that much rampant, or the tools available were not so as in friendly. So any which way, this is something for video on demand. It is something that will be a cakewalk. For live, it can be a bit challenging. The accuracy may not be 100% in the initial phases. However, this is something that will be again a game changer for a lot of organizations. It will be a game changer for a lot of industries. Imagine the platform knows that this content is being viewed by a child. Of course, the overall workflow has to be implemented within the platform, but this is being viewed by a child. So the AI will know that okay, for someone who is below 18 or someone who is below 12, for example, these parts of the videos have to be either edited, means they are not a part of the video itself. It's a special rendering that's being done real time, or they are censored in some or the other way, which is not being displayed in front of the kid. So it sounds very means like a science fiction, but yes, this is something which a lot of players are working on this. There will be tools available. This again, it will be a game changer, not just for entertainment. It will be a game changer for multiple industries. UI UX localization. It is being done, but right now it's being done from a manual angle. So it is the overall configuration is being done on backend one by one. So if my content is being viewed in Japan versus it's being viewed in Germany versus it's being viewed in US, the overall homepage layout it's different, but it's not an automated setup. So this is again, this entire AI intervention into this will make things much easy. It will have not just the entire homepage, the overall application experience as well. Even the recommended content that will pop up, it will be on the basis of your religion. Again, the what would be an actual amazing thing is that I am from India. I am traveling to US, it's still showing me Indian as in localized content on my original preferences. So again, so this is something which will be possible very soon through AI. It's done up to a certain extent in some platforms from a video content perspective, from a recommendation engine perspective, but from UI UX localization, it's taking shape. Last but not the least, real-time live translation. This is what as in most of us want this to happen, but again, there is no firm solution behind it. Just recently, we did a POC wherein we tested this, and it's really amazing. So if I'm talking in English right now, there is someone who is not so fluent in English. Maybe they would like to converse in Portuguese, they would like to converse in Spanish, maybe in Mandarin. So it will be a real-time translation just within a delay of not more than maybe 3 odd seconds, which is means that's very much reasonable. 3 seconds is nothing. And of course, even this will be optimized in due course. In some cases, it can be a higher latency. It can be a latency of 6 seconds, but still means for something which was not available altogether a couple of years back, couple of months back, we have these solutions available. And this is something which will make video means real-time video communications a really good thing. So if you have any because it's a struggle. So if you cater to a global geography, you are having customers from certain countries where they are not so well versed in the as in the global language. It becomes very easy to converse them through such modules. So even this as in this is something which should it does or it does not, I can't really comment on it much, but this is something which should take shape as soon as possible. It's our prediction for 2025. And with that, I end my session, but we have our final third and final poll for this webinar. If we can go for the third poll, please. So AI driven audio translation is the first, as in the Morgan Freeman example. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. So we can close the poll. All right. With that, I end my webinar, guys. Any so Yeah. So, as in just we'll be sharing a collateral with all of you, which you can look, wherein we have added our predictions overall. So, it's a collateral from Movie. It primarily is catering to US as a geography. However, of course, means it is applicable from a global front also. Means what it always starts from the West, because US as a market, naturally that's pretty much dominant in space. Others are catching up to it, but yes, means these predictions are something which apply to a global front as well. Perfect. It's time to take questions. We can open up the questions panel for whoever wants to ask. Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. I think. Okay. Oh, sorry. You went. I sorry. I was on the wrong window. All right. The first question means it was more of a concern. I think so. It was by Fola that the handset is buffering. Can you provide the recording of these slides? Sure, sure. So we'll be as in sharing this entire. So we'll be sharing the presentation as well as we'll share the overall recording of this call as well to all the attendees. So rest assured behind it. Okay. Uh, we have from Sajeev. Will the water seal work in preventing pirate streaming and downslide the downloaders sites from using our content? Um, I'll rephrase, Sajeev, the question. I am presuming the question is that will the overall forensic watermark, it will prevent from streaming and downloading the content. So no. So there are two aspects. One is the prevention, second is the cure. So cure is the forensic watermarking which I was talking about. Prevention essentially is DRM. So your video content has to be DRM enabled so that it is not screen recorded on a mobile device. Basically it can be, but if anyone does it pretty much they will get a black screen. And slowly it's supporting on multiple web browsers as well. For the longest time, there was issue in supporting it over web browsers, but again, a lot of innovations are happening over there. And when, let's say, it's screen recorded anyhow through any third party and floated across any third party platform, then tracking of that from an anti-piracy angle, that is the function of forensic watermark. And yes, so you can also implement a dynamic watermark, which will be across the video. So if anyone is recording, it will track the IP, it will track the username, it may track the contact number, email, as in whatever. So even that can also be backtracked, and you can be, as in you can reach out to so the respective user. All right, we have from Antonio. AI captioning auto translates everything. Yeah. So thanks for the question, Antonio. So again, there are two things. One is the actual captioning. So if the original video it's in English, so the overall encoding. So let's talk VOD first. The entire encoded content will be first having complete English subtitles. Next step would be to translate them into the languages that you input. But yes, it can, as in the AI system can do that. As of now, the POC that we did, it was on just the initial subtitling, as in the closed captioning. But soon, means very soon, even the same will translate into multiple languages that you input in the system. It will, however, it will be an added effort per language. So it won't be an extremely instant element to showcase. But yes, so even if it's within a period of maybe as in couple of hours, yes, it will do its job. Yeah. Uh, Okay, so what AI provides the real-time live translation with minimal latency? It's a question by Milena. We again we means our main core is into streaming, but however, in case of certain integrations, we do have our partners. So this particular POC we had done with one of our partners called Palabra. So they have this as a part of their offerings. If need be, we can have a overall demo. We can have a POC together. We can share a separate email on the same, and maybe we can connect coming week to just see how it works. Maybe we can even discuss the use case likewise. Uh, Okay, it's Mark Andrews. Hi, Mark. Do you have any stats on how popular fast channels really are outside of the top tier candidates? This seems a lot of hype, but what about the actual user engagement? That's a valid question. Means I won't completely deny this. Again, so apart, it all depends on the demography. We might not have these stats outside the popular channels yet, but that's something that we can work on. Means it's an interesting thing to explore overall, but we can get that. But I am true to what I said of it being industry agnostic, meaning for the longest time it was catering only and only to entertainment, but now even as in sports, of course, but even health, there are literally 24/7 channels on health and well-being. So that is something, and it is so I believe there is binge. You can check out binge TV, wherein they have this 24/7 channel that's on. I forgot the name of the channel, to be honest, but it is it's a real thing. But yes, thanks for the question, Mark. That was a genuine question. We'll definitely look into it. We have from Chandan, context to localization and AI. Will AI be able to manage to provide accurate service in multiple language market like India, especially dubbing? Yes, thanks, Chandan. So again, the accuracy is something which won't be 100% at the moment, but again, it will not be below 90% as well. Again, sorry, I'm saying 90 also it's too low. Maybe like 90 lesser than 95%. Because we have seen this. So again, as I mentioned previously also about Palabra, so we um constantly interact with different partners. So we have one more partner that's Ferative. Again, they are from India, in fact. So they are working towards such an innovation in content localization. And what I mentioned about the Morgan Freeman example, that is something that can be done. So if in future there is a movie of Shah Rukh Khan that's being viewed in international audiences or even in regional states of India, it will have the dubbed voice of Shah Rukh Khan. So that innovation is possible. So thanks, Chandni. We have Aditi. AI-based UI UX customization would be a one-time ingestion of inputs across geography, or would it be mainly Gen AI? That's Thanks for this question, Aditi. So that's exactly the bifurcation of what it's happening right now versus what will be in future. So as of now, it's a configuration that's being done one time. It needs to be managed periodically, but yes, that is a configuration that is being done in the backend manually for each geography that the platform caters to. It's a manual effort, but in due course this will be managed by AI by tracking the actual IP, by tracking those coordinates. And as I mentioned, that you might primarily be from as in India, and you are going, let's say, for a brief period you are in France. Still, your original choices should reflect in the UI overall. uh we'll Again, we have all right, we do have a couple of minutes more. um okay, next question is, okay, what type of marketing strategies would you suggest to build a subscriber base? Okay, so we are all right. Thanks for this question. Again, it's something that as in we pull our marketing partners into this, because primarily we are a technology, but there are multiple ways. One of it is to having a multi-channel approach. So when I say multi-channel, so again, there are multiple content collaborators in a single platform. You may be the main admin, but you are having different collaborators who are, there is a joint effort wherein each of them are marketing their channel. You can think of it as a YouTube model, wherein I YouTube, of course, it's being YouTube, but I also would be marketing my own channel separately. If this model works, it's kind of innovative in the space, and it does work actually. But yes, apart from that, an actual marketing agency will be much better to consult on this question. But yeah, I hope I was able to help a bit. Uh, Uh, Definitely, Melina. Thanks for mentioning this. We'll definitely connect with you. We'll reach out to you on email, and we can have a POC coming week. Uh, okay. Yeah, will AI support be available for suggesting the content? So that is already being done, Amol, up to a large extent. So the overall AI driven recommendation. So again, you must be if you are a YouTube, there is, of course, there is Netflix, YouTube, etc. But the best part is the best use is on a platform like Spotify or maybe YouTube Music. So it creates playlists for you. So recommending a content, of course, or a set of contents, that's good. But for me, having a AI generated playlist on the overall consumption of my song history over maybe the last couple of months. So that is something which is already happening, and this is something which will keep on as in improving day by day. So, but yes, so and again, so this is something which we also have as a part of our module, but it will be nice. So we can connect separately, Amol, on this. This is something which is happening. We can show you a quick POC. Uh, but yeah, thanks for the question. Great. We are almost, I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't believe we have any further questions. Yeah. All right. We do still have a time, but we'll just wait for 1 minute if at all there is any further question. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, fine. We have a last. We'll take this as a last question. Because we are already means it's just five minutes. It's an interesting question. The question essentially is: will fast channels adopt hybrid AVOD monetization. So, because primarily when it comes to fast, it's more towards SCATI 35. Again, when you are pushing it to third party platforms, naturally, but can you have a provision of SCATI 35 as well as a provision to introduce VAST tax? Um, for those who are not in the industry, it's a very valid question. This is something which in fact we have discussed with a couple of customers just a couple of weeks back. So uh, you should have the provision to partner with brands directly, as well as when you are uh, sharing this feed to, let's say, someone like a Peacock, or someone like a Samsung TV Plus, Roku. So they should have their own set of advertisers who should be able to place ads between those few points. Um, Honestly, this is something which is still a concept. I am also not very much aware if anyone does this, but this is something that can be a nice innovation into the overall fast landscape. We'll discuss this. Thanks for the question. Uh, Perfect. With that, okay. What are the okay? Sorry, one last question. What are the best from Maurice? What are the best practices for monetization fast channel? Um, So again, monetizing fast channel, it you depending on where you are distributing that. If you are distributing on a third party platform, it's majorly rev share is the way to go, wherein it's more 70/30, wherein the broadcaster they get 70%, whereas the platform and the mediators they get 30% of the revenue. However, you can also have a subscription attached to it. It can also be a pay, not a pay-per-view per se, but yeah. So there is something like pop-up TV channels. This is something which just recently I got to know that so pop-up TV, it's like a temporary TV which can be either a temporary film festival. It can be a temporary sports event. So in such cases, it can be like a paper event thing for monetizing your again, it's a temporary fast and it's not running 24/7 365. But yes, these are the things that are taking shape. But yeah, that's thanks for this. All right. Yes. Okay. Will you share the presentation? Definitely, Carl. We'll share not just the presentation. We'll share this entire recording as well. It will be even uploaded to our YouTube channel. So we'll share this recording to each and everyone who has attended, even registered and sadly could not attend. We will share it to everyone over email, and it will also include the link to the presentation as well. All right. So thanks for this. Okay. It's Carl saying thank you. Thank you, everyone. With this, we'll conclude the presentation, the webinar for today. Again, much gratitude to everyone. Hope to interact with most of you in coming days and weeks. It will be nice to discuss different use cases, how we can help you shape up certain innovations into the streaming landscape. Having said that, once again, a big thank you to all. Take care and stay safe.